I was really proud of our guys. It's good to get a win here tonight at home. Really appreciate the students. You could see them and hear them. Really appreciate them being here. All the fans, but the students in particular. I thought our guys over the last couple of weeks have really started to kind of turn the corner a little bit. It just wasn't showing in results. I was happy for them to get one in the left-hand column. I thought our start was really important, but it was fueled by the defensive end of the floor. We started out with 6 straight stops, and we finished the first half with 6 straight stops. So that was big for us going in the half with a double-digit lead, and I thought 3 guys in particular, Jacob Johnson, Justin Buford, and Trey Green, did a really good job defending Kiki Tandy. He's a 3-level scorer. Any kind of space, he gets them off, and you see the kinds of shots that he takes. They're difficult, and yet his shooting percentage is high. It came in around 45% on the season and in league play from 3, and he takes some hard ones. And so I just thought those 3 guys did a good job of trying to make him work, and we were able to out-rebound a tough team. They're really good at getting on the offensive glass, and I just thought we made enough tough plays. And obviously shot making doesn't hurt. I thought obviously Elias and JP made some really timely shots for us. But Elias in the past, and I said this on the radio earlier, he has had games where when he made 4 threes, he had 12 points. And tonight made 4 threes, but ends up with 23 because of being able to do some other things. Being aggressive around the basket, getting to the free throw line, ends up with 6 rebounds. Those kinds of things are really important for our team. And I thought JP was terrific, to handle that kind of those bodies, that pressure, and have to, scores 30. I thought we just had a lot of guys played well.
A big thing analytically is sort of those kill shot runs where you can go on a 10-point run or greater. Y'all had 2 of those in the first half, bookending sort of the half there. Yep. Y'all defended well enough to get those long stretches where you could put those together.
Yep.
How rewarding was it to see those shots finally fall and get some reward for that defense tonight?
And that's the thing is, and we've said that, and I said it multiple times in tonight's huddle, that we go on runs when we're not turning the ball over. Because if you can get clean stops, what we refer to as clean stops, you don't have a messy defensive rebound. Well, now you've got a chance to play out in transition. It's hard to score when you're going against set defense, particularly a defensive team like that. They were top 35 in the country in half-court defense coming into the game. So you can't watch it go through the basket and walk it up the floor. I thought we were able to get clean stops and get out and play in transition, and as a result, there's cleaner looks. And with those cleaner looks, higher shooting percentages. So I just thought that was it. The other night at New Mexico State, very similar. We had a long stretch where we had 2 turnovers over about 10 or 11 minutes. And that's the period where we went from 11 down to 3 up. So ball care for this group is paramount because we guard really well as a 5-man group. We take care of the ball on defense. We've got to continue to flip that mentality to take care of it as a 5-man group on offense.
There's been games where JP kind of carries the whole offense just to keep you guys afloat when Elias goes on big runs by himself like he did in the first half. How does that kind of take you guys to the next step on offense?
I just think when you've got 2 guys like JP and Elias that are able to make shots and you've got a low post threat in Jared, it just makes you hard to guard. You want to have rim pressure. Well, we've got some guys that are really good cutters. JP can get downhill with the ball, and Jared is starting to be just kind of a load on the block. And when you can't double down off of him so much because the way they're shooting it allows multiple guys to get quality looks. But it's important not to be just a one-dimensional team.
And Elias, you scored your most points tonight since you guys played Belmont here. How big is it for your confidence to make a couple in a row, and then that bucket kind of starts looking a little bigger?
It was definitely a confidence booster. My coaches and my teammates, they was getting on me all week. They was basically saying, Elijah, you're a shooter, bro. Just stay locked in, stay in the gym. We know eventually you'll hit shots. JP encouraging me. And, yeah, shout out to them. It was really them.
Elias, you're playing close to 40 minutes a night, a lot of nights, and I think you were on the bench for 21 seconds tonight. You know, that's something that we see a lot with the women's basketball team, at least with me. You know, but how have you adjusted to that, you know, when this is a team that's known for subbing a lot more and you're having to build up maybe a little bit more to that minute pressure?
Definitely taking conditioning serious outside of, like, the game, working out with Brandon Buskey, hydration. JP, he always get on me about drinking water and stuff. He's my roommate. But, yeah. And, and taking practice more serious when we get up and down.
Nick, you've obviously had to shorten the rotation a little bit just given some of the injuries. How do you think the guys are starting to respond to that now? They're getting a little bit more used to maybe those extra minutes that they weren't playing earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think, just trying to – we've had to adjust a little bit on how what our in-game rotation looks like, but also as a result, we've had to adjust a little bit what we do in between games, how long we practice, how much we have body-on-body contact, continue to stress getting in the training room and how they eat and how they sleep, because that's a lot of minutes. Playing 1, 2, 3, 4 guys played 30+. That's hard. But there are guys out there that do it. I'd like to play more, but as long as these guys continue to produce and they're not cramping and they're not asking for subs, like, you get some guys don't ever ask for a sub, but that'll play hard enough to get tired. And, that's a problem. But these guys, they play hard, and they're continuing to get in better shape.
JP, do you ever have Chris and Jared just sort of stand, in the middle of the court for you to jump around to practice some of those layups that you were putting down in the second half?
It's just a feel for it. They know, like, when it's time to get downhill, we need to put pressure on the rim, that's where to go.
Nick, how has Trey Green gone from being one of the last guys off the bench to one of your best on-ball defenders right now?
Because he is he's earned what he's getting. I'm glad you brought Trey Green up. He's just so tough. He plays he gives you another defensive presence. He's strong, huge tie-up, an offensive rebound late in the game. He just makes those kind of plays. These guys trust him. He's just a good, strong athlete. You can put him on anybody 1 through 4, really. He can guard. I just think he's starting to get more and more comfortable and confident out there. The other night at New Mexico State, obviously, it's easy to play hard when you're 6 for 8 from 3. But these guys will tell you, man, he plays like that every day. Every day. I mean, he doesn't take days off. And so these guys know that when he's out there that they can trust what he's going to bring to the table.
Facts, for sure.
That's not a lie.
It's not no cap.
I know Joe knows what no cap means.
Okay. All right. JP, so that I thought a key play, the technical after the foul on you, that went from a 10-point game to a 16-point game.
It's Trey Green.
Oh, it was Trey Green. So
Yep.
anyone know what happened on that play? Why he got the technical?
It was the technical.
What-
They just shoved him
Is that
off
what
the rim.
happened?
Is that what it was?
That's what they
Yeah.
called it.
Oh, all right.
He fouled Trey, and then he was mad he got called for foul. He shoved Trey off.
Yeah, 'cause they was on top of each other.
It was big though, Joe. I said that on the radio that that was one of the turning points to be able to make those 4 free throws and then score,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it goes from 10 to 16. We saw that. We did that at UTEP. It was the flip. All of a sudden we cross half court, we're down 8, and we come back and you're down 15. Those are it definitely changes the complexion of the game.
So this is really a question for all of you, whoever's brave enough to answer it. So both of you guys scored a lot of points tonight, but your shots are different in the sense that you, Elias, have that very pretty-looking, formful shot. And yours kind of spins the wrong way. Sometimes when it hits the rim and it starts going this way instead of through like that. So
As long as it
Nick,
goes in, baby.
is that the rule? Is that the rule? Have you tried to mess with his shot at all?
Not at all,
How
really. I think once you get to a certain point in your career, changing your form's very difficult. It's hard.
You think
I
I'm off
you
base
can-
by saying it's a little unusual how his ball comes out?
It's really compact. I'll give you that. But that's the thing about his is because it's so compact, and he's able to pop his feet before he shoots it. He gets it off quickly, and so one of the most odd releases of anybody I've ever coached was one of the best three-point shooters that we've ever had, that I've ever coached. And shot it on the wrong side of his face. His legs were always crazy, but he made over 40% of them. And when you're making that, just let it roll.
Again, question for all three of you, whoever wants to take it. This losing streak, what does it do to you mentally? How does it?
I'll be honest. All week, me and JP, we was looking at the 0-4. That was on our board. He has the records put up.
We was looking at it every
and
single
we looked
day.
at the 0-4 every day. That's no exaggeration. So we knew coming into this one, we literally said it's a must win, and that was it. That was all.
Coach, you're wearing the coaches versus cancer pin. You and the rest of the coaching staff was wearing that tonight. Obviously, it's a big week in college basketball every year when that week comes around. What does it mean to you to be a part of that and to support cancer research in that way?
It's really a special week. Continue to bring awareness for cancer research, the need for more funds, more money for more research. It's the 30th year of the Coaches versus Cancer, started by Norm Stewart in 1993. So it's the 30-year anniversary of it, and 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women face a cancer diagnosis at some point in their lifetime. And so I would dare say everybody in the room has either a family member or a friend that has been affected by cancer, if not passed away from it. I have multiple relatives that have had skin cancers. My grandmother passed away 14 years ago of cancer herself. It's really important, and I think what used to be called suits and sneakers week, but so many of us after COVID not wearing suits as much anymore, and so it's kind of changed the format in which we bring awareness. But I'm glad you brought that up. It'll be done. You'll see it around the country all week. We'll do it again on Saturday against FIU.
For a guy like Trey that's kind of always been known more as a scorer, what does it mean from a maturity standpoint for a guy to say, hey, this is how I'm going to get my playing time. Let me buy into defense a little bit more.
Trey Green, yeah, he shoots it. He can get on streaks as well. I mean, like we saw at New Mexico State. He obviously had several games where the streak was on the other side of it. But even in games where, like tonight, he plays 20 minutes and goes 0 for 2 from 3 and 0 for 3 from the floor, but his plus-minus is on the right side. He's got steals, he's got rebounds, he draws 2 fouls. He does the small things that don't always get the limelight, the spotlight, the flashy plays. Obviously, the other night he did, but you got to have a guy like that on your team. He's never moody. He makes those threes, and he just got a look about him that you wouldn't know if he was making them or missing them. And that's Trey Green every day. You get the same thing from him. You'll see him driving around on campus on a scooter. Definitely.
Justin, obviously it's nice to snap the losing streak, but there's still a lot of road ahead of y'all to get to where y'all need to be come March. How do you think tonight can maybe spark y'all, the rest of the way in conference play?
It just boosts our confidence as a team overall. We're just taking it game by game, one game at a time. So we prep for the next game for Saturday, and we'll just try to win that game.
as Coach mentioned at the top, but obviously the student section played a big part into what was going on tonight. You're someone that likes to feed off of their energy. I've noticed in your career here. What did it mean to on these Greek nights that you've been a part of to look up and see, particularly the Pan-Hellenic organizations, joining in and making the atmosphere in the Glass House, an impressive one.
I love Greek night. Them guys, they always come out with energy. Like they're always here. And my career here, I don't think I lost on Greek
We had a
night.
DJ tonight too.
Yeah, we need that
So
every
we-
night.
we-
We can
yeah,
get
no,
that
no,
every
we-
night.
Yeah,
We can get that
every
night,
time
you know
every
what
time
I'm
they're here, it's always electric, and they always bring the energy. Shout out to them.
I'll let Rachel know about the DJ.
I like
Yeah,
that.
The DJ too. Yeah,
tough.
yeah. he was tough.
And when really those things, those matter. They really do. When somebody's on that free throw line, you could be locked in, but when that student section and the band are yelling Frosty, you have to hear it. I mean, it's loud. So those things in tight games matter. So
And
I'm
they
glad
know
they
your
were
name.
here.
They know your name too.
Anything?